Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang held a rally at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington. Yang has proposed implementing a value-added tax to fund his universal basic income plan. Following the rally, I asked Yang if he thinks a VAT would hurt consumers.
Baseline rate of the VAT that we're projecting is 10%, which would generate a bit over $800 billion in new revenue. Now, 10% would be the base rate, but we could exempt consumer staples that more Americans use every day and have a slightly higher rate on luxury goods that people at the top can afford a bit of a price increase on. And we need to make this kind of move because right now the richest companies in America, like Amazon and Netflix, are literally paying zero in federal taxes. So if you look at that situation and say, okay, are they doing something wrong or are we doing something wrong? And then you look around the world and you find that every other advanced economy already has a value-added tax, generally at a much higher rate than the one I'm proposing. The average European value-added tax, for example, is 18 to 20%. So the reason why other countries have adopted a value-added tax is because it's much harder for even sophisticated companies to game their way out of paying taxes that are benefiting from your consumer market or your economy.
State and local taxes would remain in place under Yang's plan. Despite this, Yang says he understands the concern about a VAT raising the cost of products.
Well, most of those local and state taxes are in the hands of the municipality or the state. But keep in mind, in this proposal, every dollar from the VAT and then many other dollars would be going directly in the hands of American consumers. And so while I understand the concern that in a vacuum, a value-added tax could be regressive, in a world where American consumers are actually getting that money and then some, it would benefit all but the richest Americans who consume a great deal of resources. Approximately the top, or the bottom 95% would benefit, approximately the top 5% would be net payers.
And you've also talked about Medicare for all, getting that put into place. Medicare is supposed to be insolvent by 2026, according to the actuaries' estimates. How would you pay for Medicare for all if the current program, the existing program, could be insolvent by 2026?
Well, so it's an apples to oranges question you're proposing because right now we're spending 18% of GDP on our healthcare, and most of that is coming out of private companies' bottom lines and families' bottom lines. And as someone who's run a company, if the government were to come to me and say, hey, great news, I'm going to take over your employees' health care that want it, and you just have to give me the money you're already spending, I would have been thrilled because it's not just the money you're spending as a company, but it's also the fact that you have to go to your workers and constantly say, hey, we're making an adjustment to your health care plan. And then the workers have very strong feelings about different plans. And so you're like, oh man, like there's nothing I can do that makes you all happy because you're all in different situations. And so it puts these companies in very, very difficult situations. It's even worse than money. And so if you were to say to the companies, look, give us the money and then we'll take this healthcare off your hands, companies would be thrilled and we'd end up saving a lot of money because right now we have this vast industry of private insurance that's essentially this profit-taking middleman, which is why we're spending so much more than other countries in part.
Reporting in Washington, I'm Nicholas Balassi.